Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Taurus February 2019 horoscope forecast part 1. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as February goes, the sun will be in Aquarius from the 1st until the 18th. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on one's public image, reputation, the dominant parent, which is often the father, success, authority figures, even perhaps attaining a position of authority in one's career. Now, given this Aquarius energy, this might be, a lot of this energy may be done a lot of unorthodox, unconventional manner. It could be done with a lot of consideration, especially perhaps in dealings with the dominant parent, which is often the father, and people that are prominent in your career. It could also be done with a lot of selflessness, a lot of humanitarian energy. It might be where you're getting, you might be focused on developing a reputation for being more ingenious and more really in being that humanitarian, being very selfless. A lot of this too, again, is about consideration. A lot of that energy could be flavored with that, and really, and also just in general, really looking at this and also it could be something that could be unusual as well. So anyway. Another thing is that the next thing up, the sun will be in Pisces as far as February goes, from the 18th until the 28th. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on one's aspirations, goals, friends, acquaintances, the future, groups, clubs, organizations, even humanitarian endeavors. Given that this is Pisces, and even social networking, given this is Pisces energy, this could be done with a lot of idealism, a lot of philanthropy. It could be a lot of self-sacrificing energy as well, a lot of compassion and emotional energy as well. Could even be like this all-encompassing emotional energy, but there might be some confusion that may be connected with this. In some cases, this could be shining the light, so to speak, perhaps on maybe a friend that might be somewhat duplicitous or deceptive even. And be careful about focusing maybe on the wrong aspirations and goals, because this could be about very self-deceit, really self-deceptive energy, and sometimes unrealistic energy. And it's depending on the aspects this makes, especially say if this is making an adverse aspect to your natal Neptune, that could really amplify those, to exacerbate those possible tendencies. So anyway, next thing up, there will be a new moon in Aquarius on February 4th, so the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, you may embark or start on an Aquarius like a career position. It could be something connected with electronics, computers. It could even be with innovation, something with developing things, connect with new ideas, new concepts. It could be something connected with aerospace, astronomy, even astrology, or some other esoteric or even an unusual field or profession. You may rekindle a connection with an Aquarius dominant parent. It could be an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius-like characteristics, and maybe even starting to develop that reputation for something Aquarius-like, for being innovative, for selflessness, for things of humanitarian, and really something humanitarian, being a humanitarian. This could also be, and being that universal friend. And also too, given that this is also, I mean, we're talking about the house being emphasized, connected with social status, and also I look at it as like your stature in life. it could be that showing humaneness, being more friendly, and really in showing those selfless qualities. It could be this, doing that could be the start of maybe meeting those connections that might help you improve your social status and stature in life. And anyway, next thing up, there will be a full moon in Virgo on February 19th, so the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, in some cases, this could reflect maybe the ending of some Virgo-like enjoyment. It could just simply be some Virgo-like game you've been playing for, all like chess or checkers, or some mastermind, something that required a lot of analysis. And this could have been also too, or something like connected with extrapolation of data, projecting stats, say for something sports related, because the fifth house could be connected with that, such as doing something like with fantasy football or fantasy basketball. Could also be the culmination, or I should say the ending in some cases, of a Virgo love or a romantic situation. It could be somebody that has a Virgo sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply one that embodies Virgo-like characteristics. Now, also too, in some cases, this could be some kind of unveiling or revelation, maybe of a Virgo love, or it could be maybe somebody that you might have been involved in something creative, or some kind of thing of hobby, amusement, enjoyment. It could be a child, it could be a romantic partner that might be, you might really be seen for maybe a first time as somebody that might be overly worrisome or pedantic, or somebody that's overly frugal, or even just super judgmental or critical or borderline or even germophobic, if that even exists, and if that's the term. I don't know if that's what that is anymore. Anyway, well, the next thing up is Mercury will be in Aquarius as far as February goes, from the 1st until the 10th. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, this could be about perhaps sporadic and erratic communication with the dominant parent, someone prominent in your career, perhaps expressing new ideas and concepts with these people. It could be with authority figures. It could also be speaking in very clear, perspicacious manner with those people as well, and also thinking outside the box, so to speak, about really regarding and maybe improving your stature in life, your social status, and thinking about your future as far as your career may go. And also too, as I've stated in previous videos, Mercury can also, it's not just about communication, it could also be about siblings as well. I mean, it could be where Aquarius siblings, they could be Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Aquarius-like characteristics, might figure prominently in your public image. You're trying to help you perhaps with that, your reputation. It could be your career. It could be in matters with the dominant parent, which is often the father. So, and maybe even attaining success or some position of authority. Now, also, well, the next thing I want to talk about, okay, Mercury will be in Pisces as far as February goes, from the 10th until the 28th. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, you might be involved in some ambiguous, even cryptic conversations or communications with friends, with acquaintances, people you might know in groups, clubs, or organizations, even stepchildren. And you might feel like it, and the conversations might be somewhat deceptive, and you might be really unclear and unsure about whether some of these people are being honest with you and forthright. But it could also, on a positive note, and this could be about thinking idealistically about your future, and just be careful that it's not overly unrealistic. Could also manifest in really thinking where you're somewhat nebulous and unclear regarding where you're going to be going at a later point regarding your future, but also idealistic thinking perhaps about attaining goals and aspirations. It could be thinking about doing something Pisces-like as far as a goal or aspiration. It could be something connected with the metaphysical, which can include astrology, something with spirituality, photography, pharmaceutical work, chemistry, even dancing, poetry, perhaps. And as I've stated in previous videos, that Mercury can also be about siblings. So this could be about Pisces siblings. They may be Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Pisces-like characteristics. Might figure prominently perhaps in your future, and might be in some kind of group or club, or some involvement with some organization, or maybe even with social networking as well. Maybe you might be more involved with them than usual, say on social media. And really, and also too, this could be a thing too where you might be really thinking, really looking at this where maybe you're thinking is somewhat ambivalent and indecisive regarding 11th house matters, such as the future, such as what goals you want to pursue, aspirations, maybe in matters connected with social networking or social media, and even regarding things of a humanitarian nature, and what if you're involved in any humanitarian group or endeavor, whether you want to continue with it or not, or it could even be people that are involved maybe with you in that capacity somehow that maybe you're not sure of or what have you. So anyway, last but not least, hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, Venus will be in Sagittarius as far as February goes, from the 1st until the 3rd, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, in some cases, this could reflect perhaps a Sagittarius connection. It could be Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or one that simply embodies Sagittarius characteristics, might figure very prominently and strongly in you making a major change or transformation, even dealing with a crisis situation. It could be where you maybe need to guard against perhaps reckless spending in connection with shared resources or other 8th house matters. It could be, a lot of this could be dependent on the aspects this makes. Say if this makes an adverse aspect to Jupiter, this might accentuate maybe perhaps or increase a propensity for reckless spending. This could also be as well positive. It could be very fortuitous for perhaps an inheritance or an insurance, given Venus is about money. And you look at Sagittarius, it is the lucky sign, and also matters with shared resources as well. So even if you're say you're a Taurus and you're not having, you're not one of those real affluent or prosperous Tauruses. I mean, I'm kind of like one of those Taurus. I'm a Taurus rising person, many of you know, and I'm not exactly Mr. Affluent or prosperous, but it could be very fortuitous for doing something with, or something in connection with shared resources where you can get that assistance perhaps when needed. And also too, it could be in some cases, especially if you've been planning surgery for some time, it could be about getting that money for a Sagittarius-like surgery, something connected with the sciatic nerve perhaps, or with the liver, the thighs, or the hips. And being in the house, I mean, 8th house is also the house of transformation. In some cases, some of you may be going through having to spend money on perhaps a hip replacement. And especially, I mean, a lot of that could depend on your chart, or other, might be some other transit or progressions and something in your natal chart. In my natal chart, I have Jupiter in conjunct my Ascendant. And of course, in conjuncts can often be about health issues, I think especially from the 6th house, and Jupiter does rule, the hips and Sagittarius, like health-related issues. So this could be something that I might need to keep an eye on. And anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Taurus February 2019 horoscope forecast part 1. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my Taurus February 2019 horoscope forecast Part 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.